Lucky hat.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mysterious Forces Live. It is Sunday, September 30th, 2018. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. Tonight, we're going to be talking to a really awesome guy, a great guest, somebody that I've really been looking forward to talking to. His name is Robert Lindsay, and he is a special effects makeup artist, and he got known publicly for the most part by being a contestant on Face Off on season 10. So we'll be talking to Robert here in a couple of minutes, and we'll be finding out what's going on in his world. Michael, how are you doing this evening?
I'm well, Natasha. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well. I'm looking down, making an adjustment. I'm kind of preparing. We're getting ready to get what's going to be Tropical Storm Rosa by the time it comes inland here, but it's hitting the Baja Peninsula, and it's kind of breaking up, but then this tropical storm is going to hit us within the next 24 to 48 hours. We're going to get a bunch of rain. So that's what's going on here in the high desert.
Yeah, I'm just a few miles away from you in the bunker up north, and we can feel it as well. And Robert, thanks so much for joining us. We're so excited to have you on tonight.
You're welcome.
How have you been doing?
I'm great. I'm ready for your questions.
All right. That's cool. I saw online, I'd been following your social media, and of course I've seen the season of Face Off that you were on. You were just at Son of Monster Palooza, and could you tell the audience a little bit about what you were up to there?
I was doing a little demo at Son of Monster Palooza in Burbank, which is Son of Monster Palooza is a monster expo, all related to movies and monsters and very geeky things. People like monsters. You go there, and it's very popular. I did a little makeup demo on Friday on a model for Nocturnal Designs. My friends, I held sometimes seminars at their place.
Oh, very cool. What did you make? Did you make prosthetics, or what did you create for the audience?
Well, it was I didn't make it from scratch. It was like a last minute thing that I decided to do. So I had an appliance that was pre-made, and I called the design the Goddess of Decay. Yeah. So it was basically cool. a pretty girl, and I made her look dead. It looked a bit like, in the end, like Linda Blair from The Exorcist, mixed with the Grudge a little bit. So, yeah, it was fun.
That's cool. That sounds exciting. Do you have anything there in your studio to show? I think you said you might have something that if the folks who saw Face Off might, this might ring a bell.
Oh, yeah. I have a little something here prepared for you. Hold on. So this is Zombie Duck. Yeah.
Zombie Duck.
You will be able to purchase Zombie Duck from my webpage or social media. Yeah, it's a little nod to my. I made that Electro Duck in Face Off, so that is Zombie Duck. Yeah.
That is awesome.
And actually, this is the first test version of Zombie Duck. And the real one will actually be able to talk. There's a little sound module in the duck itself, and it will quack with a German accent. Quack, quack, quack.
I love it.
You see, this is an unpainted one, and you see there is cable sticking out here under. So there is a sound module inside, and there will be a little speaker here on the ground. And you will be able to press, I think, here on the butt area, you press a button and the duck will talk. And I can make it customizable customizable too for you. So you tell me what the duck is supposed to say, and I will record it. So
that's amazing. So
sky's the
just
limit.
press a little duck butt and get a little duck talk.
But for sure it will quack with a German accent. I think that is important.
That is. I think
Indeed.
that's the only place in the world where everyone's going to find a duck with a German accent will be at your website.
I think the world needs more ducks that quack with a German accent. Quack.
That's true.
Quack. Yes.
The world would be a better place. Speaking of which, I love your sense of humor, and I'm totally serious. I was just watching these seasons of Face Off, and we were already working on the show, and I saw you on season 10, and I was like, I have to find out who this guy is, and I have to have him on the show. I'm totally serious. And then I started researching you, and I found you on social media, and here we are. And I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about your experience on Face Off and what that was like.
So when you get onto Face Off, the first thing that happens, they take away your phone and your wallet, and you get into this house with all these other people, and you're basically trapped there. You can't get out. And I was there like for 2 months. And you cannot leave the houses. Everything is very secretive. And so they want to keep it under wraps that now no information gets out who is winning or how it's going. I think that issues in the past was it. So on my season it was very strict, and so you're in that house and you can't leave. I call it TV prison. Yeah.
TV prison.
Yeah.
Is it true? I was just researching stuff about the show, and they were saying that the external shots of like that kind of ratty looking warehouse where it said Face Off on the door is not the actual warehouse, that was kind of like to throw the public off, that the interior of the lab was somewhere else. Is that true?
It's all in that position where the lab was. This is all there in the same area. I don't think they filmed it somewhere else now.
Oh, okay. And
the thing is, with my season, they used to film inside the house. Yeah. But in my season, they stopped doing that. And they had a little outside area near the lab, like where we used to sit and talk about things. And that was kind of the replacement for filming in the house.
That's cool. So what was the competition like itself? And I know that your sense of humor was kind of offbeat, and your take on some of the assignments was a little bit different than the other folks. Do you think that you kind of got the short end of the stick by your artistic sensibilities being a little bit different and not just fitting in with the mainstream of what the judges expected?
But the question is this a good or a bad thing, you know?
Right.
And I have kind of a history with Face Off. I had tried out to get into that TV show since the first season. I was actually in the chosen group of people for the very first episode. Oh. And they already asked me what I want in my fridge, what kind of drinks I like. And then suddenly nothing. And then I get I call them, and then they tell me, you're on the backup list. They always have 3 backup people. And I happened to be on the backup list. I was very upset. So,
wow.
So I'm trying. It took like 10 seasons to get on that damn show. So I had kind of a history. And when I finally got on there, I kind of was out a bit to mess with them a bit. It's like a revenge thing, you know.
Yeah, no, it's cool, and I loved it. I thought it was, in terms of entertainment, watching it was great entertainment. Did you see the panel for the Face Off panel at Son of Monster Palooza? I think that was like the last panel that they would ever put together for the Face Off folks there, the judges.
I missed. I think it was pretty early, and I got there like around 3:00, and they didn't contact. I don't think they had many contestants that do it. Was mostly the 3 judges, and I think Walt was there for
Oh.
my season. Yeah, but I didn't see Walt either on that day. I missed him for some reason.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, we do a little segment on this show. It's called 5 Questions in 5 Minutes. And I was wondering if you are ready to play 5 Questions in 5 Minutes.
I'm so ready.
With Robert Lindsay. He's so ready. That's funny. There's my music. I was like, where's my music? There it is. All right, Robert.
I'm dancing a bit, yeah.
I know. This is, yeah. That's exactly the point of this. It's like, it's a little techno fun there. All right. So the first question is, which face-off judge was more aloof? Neville Page, Neville Page, or Neville Page?
Neville Page.
Were they easy to get along with? Or was it like what we see on the episodes where they kind of like make appearances and leave and you didn't see them that much?
Pretty nice, but what is kind of weird, you never hear when they look at the makeups and they discuss between themselves. You can't hear what they're saying. You just you're far away from it and you don't hear those comments. Just later when you watch the episode you find out,
Oh wow. That's interesting.
It's pretty tense.
I'll bet. So the next question is, which famous makeup artist has inspired you the most?
I would say Rick Baker with American Werewolf in London. And the other would be film-wise, The Thing from John Carpenter, which is makeup done by Rob Bottin, which I always saw is amazing. And to name a third one, of course, Dick Smith is the person who taught Rick Baker everything. So those 3 guys is a pretty special place.
Yeah, I haven't heard Rob Bottin's name in a while. I'd kind of forgotten about him, but I did like his work. I followed stuff like that. And also, of course, Tom Savini. Back in the day, I was a big fan of Tom Savini's work. So I understand that you like to do karaoke. Is this true?
That is correct. I'm a karaoke obsessed.
All right. So name your top 3 karaoke songs that you like to perform.
Okay. I have always to do Rammstein because I speak German. Du hast. Always a hit. And then I have my male version of Someone Like You from Adele. Where I implement the words shit, fuck, and drunk into the lyrics and play harmonica to it. Yeah. And the third one, recently I like Jet, Look What You've Done. It's pretty cool. Yeah. And I always, my thing is to play harmonica in the song somehow. And I even call it karamonica instead of karaoke. It's my own term there. Yeah, it's my thing.
I like that. I like that. Do you have a favorite karaoke spot there in the LA area that you like to go to?
The Brass Monkey is close to my makeup school. That's a pretty good spot. And sound-wise, I think the best sound is in Boardwalk 11. I think it's in Santa Monica area somewhere there.
Oh, very cool.
There are so many places, but I think those 2 spots, they're pretty awesome.
Cool. The next question is American beer versus German beer. And please explain the difference.
German, that is not a question. That's a fact. Okay? It's a fact. German beer is better by default. That is not even a question. Yeah? It's just a fact. You're welcome.
What beer do you drink? What is your beer?
I actually like the nice German dark beers. There's one called Aventinus. It's a bit tough to find, but sometimes in German specialty stores you get it. It's a double bock.
Yes.
Double percentage, and it's quite nice.
Nice. I used to drink beer. I still do when I can find it. It's Paulaner Oktoberfest. I like that beer.
That's pretty good too.
Yeah, that's kind of a middle of the road. It's kind of crisp. I like the Paulaner Oktoberfest. So Paulaner, if you're listening, send me a case of beer.
Oh,
Okay. All right. And so here's our last question.
The last question.
Is it true that you practiced black magic and when you conjured up a demon, Glenn Hetrick appeared?
No, I just made that up. I thought it was interesting, you know. I like the sound of it. But I kind of went for, I think people will discuss that. Did he really summon demons for his makeup and stuff? So that was totally my goal. But yeah.
That's cool. What was Glenn Hetrick like? He is so, I get it that his persona is like this mysterious dude, right? But he pulls it off perfectly well. It's like you don't really know anything about him. You can't read him very well. He's kind of stoic. Is he that stoic in person?
Well, he is actually quite nice. And I think he liked my sense of humor on the show. But I don't really met him so often afterwards, so we don't really hang out. So, but from the way I perceived him on the show, he was pretty easygoing, and it's a nice guy.
That's cool. That's such a good experience. I know that you're working on some secret projects right now that you really can't get into, stuff that you're going to reveal later. But are you going to be making some appearances in at any conventions or expositions?
Well, it depends on how fast I finish it. You know, once I finish it, then I will pick a place to display it. It might. I'm aiming now for around Halloween. If Halloween doesn't work out, I might do it on IMATs, or then afterwards is Son of Monster, the original Monsterpalooza in March. I might do it then. So it depends on how fast I finish that thing. Yeah, but I'm excited. It's something different. It's not a cat, but it has hair. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Because that's kind of your trademark thing, right? Working with that.
Yes.
Do you get busy at Halloween? Do people get you to do makeups for them? Do you get busy?
Well, I'm as well on the side. I'm an ex-dental technician, so I get asked for a lot of fangs for Halloween.
Oh.
People want their fangs. So I
very
make
cool.
a few fangs around that time.
All right. So people can get a hold of you and get fangs made?
Oh, yeah. I take the impression, and it's quite involved. Taking a dental impression, and I make you form it, and it's pretty intense.
That's very cool. Do you differentiate? Like, if you made like a werewolf fangs, would those be different than vampire fangs?
Of course. Depends on how many teeth you want to be changed. I can make a whole front and upper and lower, but most of the time for fangs, it's just the two canines, you know.
Right.
And the more you want it, the more expensive it gets to, you know.
Of course. That's like, it's the old saying for tattoos. Cheap tattoos aren't good and good tattoos aren't cheap.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So let's see. Speaking of appearances, I'm going to take this opportunity with Michael to talk about Disclosure Con, where I'm going to be at this coming weekend. A week from tonight, we will be at the VIP off-premises stargazing party, I believe, with Doc Skinner and the other VIP guests at Disclosure Con in Pine Top, Arizona. It's October 5th and 6th. And I also want the regular viewers to keep an eye out later this week. I'm going to post a special video. The Roswell is being shipped, and you're going to be able to have your photo opportunity at my table at Disclosure Con with the Jackson Roswell. There were only 120 of those made. It's a super rare guitar, and it has the crop circle fret markers. And we're going to be roving around. We're going to be doing live streaming from Disclosure Con, and we're going to be doing some interviews. And so we're going to be doing some pre-recorded stuff and some live stuff. And stay posted to the channel, and also go to my Facebook channel and my Twitter page. and Twitter page, my Twitter feed,
Get,
and Twitter
get on the
page.
Twitter and
Get on the Twitters and on the internets and check this stuff out. Now, follow along and find out when we're going to live stream and when we're going to post videos from Disclosure Con. Michael, did you want to talk about anybody that's going to be at Disclosure Con? Did you have anybody you wanted to talk about real quick?
Absolutely. First of all, I think we are still compatible with AOL Internet CDs. So if you have that, go ahead and throw that in, dial it up, and join the fun. We're going to have a couple guests, a couple clients at Disclosure Con we're pretty excited about. Namely, the author of The Stingwisher, Lauren Blowers, is going to be there, and her crazy sense of humor. Suzanne Ross is also going to be appearing, and her new internet TV station is going to be dropping very soon. And of course, we're very excited to have the guitar drop and the new camera. A little nervous about that, but I'm more excited than nervous because of the 4K capabilities and some of the extra hardware that you have ordered that should be here very soon, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, it's going to help with the latency issues, and it's really going to improve things for the camera. And it's also necessary to interface with the I got into this. I was making this show, and I come from like a stage production background along with pro audio, so that part I knew. But man, has there been a learning curve on the video stuff. The video technology changes so much, and it has changed so much since the last time that I even tinkered with video, that it's been like getting re-educated all over again. I mean, there weren't even, in terms of professional lighting, there weren't even LED lights. Well, LED lights were just starting to come out for stage work about the time I got out of it.
Probably super expensive.
I worked on a reality TV show for a day. I worked in a venue, and they came into the venue, and it was this Great American Road Trip, and it had these families in RVs racing across America. And they came to Branson, Missouri, where I was living and working at the time, and they came to a theater that I worked in, and all these families competed by putting together a show for the stage, and they were judged by Andy Williams and some other people. And that was their segment of the contest. So since they were coming to us, we got to work on that crew with them for the day. So this whole LA reality TV crew shows up in our place, and they were really cool. It was a good time, and I met some really cool people. But anyway, I'm blabbing about working one day on a TV show.
Well, everyone has their moment. It's just like when the ship pops over the clouds in the Matrix, and that was your TV career.
Yeah. And I ran a TV camera for Jim Baker. Was that exciting?
I bet it was, and not only just for the television work.
Oh my God. It was weird. I can tell you that. Robert, if people wanted to, and this is not the usual promo because we're not at the end of the show, but if people wanted to see you singing Rammstein, is there a video of that on your YouTube channel?
Yes, there are. I think there are 2 videos on my multimedia mutant YouTube channel. Maybe you can post a link in the comment in the section there, and put a little link there. There are other fun stuff to explore on my YouTube channel. Feel free to have a look there.
Okay, cool. Lisa P, I see you're on there. I heard from Lisa P today. My partner, she's not here tonight at the house, but she got on here and she said that I need a zombie duck. That's pretty funny. Who doesn't need a zombie duck is the question.
That's the question. The world needs more zombie ducks.
Are you a Rick and Morty fan, Robert?
I know the show. Yeah, it's fun. I wouldn't really say I'm a super fan, but I know it's a funny show.
Yeah, it is fun. Are there any other projects, or is there anything coming up that you would want people to know about, or maybe even talk about once again where to get zombie duck, how to order it?
Well, just watch my Instagram post. I will announce it as well. Another thing I might be worth mentioning, since your title is Mysterious Forces, the house where we were staying in Face Off was actually haunted.
Was it?
Yes.
What kind of experience did you have there? This is great. I love hearing this.
My alarm clock would start to play by itself at 1 o'clock at night.
Wow.
And then
Did anyone else have? No, go ahead.
A lot of people on my season had things happening, like lights flickering, doors closing. And I'm not even really a hardcore believer in the supernatural. I don't dismiss it, but I'm very open-minded. But I'm not super crazy about it. But since we got to that house, every person had something happening to them. Yeah,
that's really interesting.
They took our first these tablets, and those tablets would film. And since so much things happened, I would always film the person and tell your story to the camera. I would collect those little stories on the iPad, on the pad things. And after this happened to me, I would film myself and tell the story. I would put my alarm clock the way it was. And I would film it. It was one of those, when you had an old iPod, you could charge your iPod on that clock. Yeah, and that's how the music came. And I was thinking, if maybe I pressed the alarm by accident, I was thinking at first. But then you could go back and see what time was set, but there was no time set. That was the weird thing.
Wow, that's crazy.
And I was filming myself then, and I'm telling to the camera, so yesterday my iPod was starting to play by itself, and I point to it, and when I point to it, the screen came on.
Wow.
And this is not a touch screen iPod. It's an old one, where you have to really press something for that screen to come on. And I just point, and it flicked on. And then I'm even joking. Did you see that? The iPod turned on by itself, and I point again, and on cue it turns off. And I had that on film, and they did nothing with it. The face of the SyFy people. Yeah.
Wow, that's really interesting. I wonder if they've used the same house in all the seasons.
They did not. In the beginning, it was those day-in hotels or something like that. And then they had this house for several seasons, and other people told me as well, yeah, we had things happen there too with us. Season 9, for example, and season 8, I guess, too.
Wow.
A lot of people who spent time in that house had weird things happen to them. And then after the newer season, they put somewhere else. But that house is supposedly as well the oldest house in that area. It was somewhere in North Hollywood. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
North Hollywood.
Yep.
North Hollywood. There are some places in North Hollywood that are haunted, and it has nothing to do with the supernatural. I've been to North Hollywood. No, I love LA. To be honest with you, I love that city for everything that comes with it. LA is a trip. It is just there's a whole lot of everything. Everything good and everything bad is in LA.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's all right there at your fingertips. I was always curious. Did you get to keep the makeup case that they let you use on Face Off?
You keep the name tag.
Okay.
The little name tag on the makeup case, they give that to you, but the case they take back.
Oh, that's a bummer. And they keep the tablet
us walking out, but we don't keep it.
Yeah. And they make you turn the light off and do the group hug. I've wondered a couple of times if the group hug, man, if there wasn't some hard feelings and people were like not wanting to do the group hug.
Well, if you spend so much time with the same people in that house, you kind of create a bond over time. It might not happen right away in the first challenge, but later on, it's pretty natural. It's not forced, really.
It is. No, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Well, Michael, we've done it again. We're at 30 minutes. Robert, Lindsay, special effects makeup artist. What's the name of your studio? How can people find you again, Robert?
Robert Lindsay FX. I have a webpage, www.robertlindsayfx.com. You see my work there. And if you want to contact me, you can use Instagram. Robert Lindsay effects as well.
Indeed. Thank you, Robert, so much. And we put links to Robert's social media in the comments on this. So Lisa P, Sherry, Pursuing X, everybody that was in the chat room, thank you for being here again. I appreciate it. Next weekend, Disclosure Con, Pine Top, Arizona, October 5th and 6th, live streaming, Doc Skinner, 1028 Productions. We're going to be there. Join us. Have a safe week, everybody, and take care. Bye.